Right, I thought we'd talk about this today. Avengers Doomsday teasers have surpassed 1 billion views, and Marvel has come out and thanked the fans, and I think it's interesting. You know, this is one of those kind of conversation pieces, right? Avengers Doomsday, will it be a success? You know, you can look at raw numbers, like, you know, gross numbers, but then you'd also look at the net numbers as well, like we're talking profit, obviously. You know, the amount of money they're going to spend on this film, can it be successful? It's a very legitimate question, because the amount that they're spending on this is insane. It is insane. But then, obviously, it's worthwhile taking a look and saying, hey, 1 billion views. Well, maybe there is enough interest in this then. You know? Maybe it will be successful. Maybe it can make ridiculous sums of money at the box office. It's interesting, I think. Definitely worthwhile taking a look at. So let's take a look at this, right? It was just a quick article just to pull from. But Marvel Studios has officially announced that Avengers Doomsday teaser campaign has surpassed a massive milestone of over 1 billion views across platforms. So that alone is a pretty tenuous thing to grasp hold of as a milestone, like across platforms. I mean, what does that mean? It's across everywhere. So the same people that watched, I don't know, the YouTube teasers probably watched the teasers on X, formerly known as Twitter. Probably watched the same teasers on, I don't know, Instagram. Probably watched the same teasers on TikTok. There is a cross-pollination between audiences on these platforms. So 1 billion views, it starts to become quite a watered-down milestone, actually. I'm not saying that it's not a milestone. But when you look into it and they're just stating across platforms, it's like, well, is it a massive milestone? It's up for debate. It's definitely up for debate. So this was posted, right? To Twitter, of course. We'll pause that. Well, try and pause it quickly anyway. So this was posted. Apparently it's still going to play. Thank you for over 1 billion views. And that's it. I mean, that is it, right? I mean, this movie's coming out, December 18th, 2026. I mean, it's interesting. You know, this alone didn't exactly garner a great deal of views itself. And I think that's actually something worthwhile taking a look at. 4.5 million views over on Marvel. You know, with a follower count, of 14 million. That's not great. You know, when we start to take a look at this billion views number, I think it actually shows that a great deal of the fan base isn't engaged, right? They aren't actually actively engaged in the product. You know, and scrolling through some of the comments, that's worthwhile looking at as well. Because you can kind of get an idea of, well, are the 4.5 million views, what was it? Yeah, 4.5 million views. Are the people that's taking a look at this, are they super hyped? Or is there mixed reception? And it looks like, overall, people seem to be reasonably hyped, you know? As you can see, from what we've lost count. Genuinely, what do you want to do with this countdown? I mean, it's a countdown until... What? It's a countdown, isn't it? It's a countdown until the movie comes out. Yeah. What? What do you mean? What do you want to do with the countdown? It's a countdown to when the movie comes out. Ridiculous comment to make. Anyway. So, you know, loads of people seem to be excited by this. So I think that's worthwhile, right? That is interesting. Right, is interesting. I still don't think, though. I don't think 4.5 million views total, at least on this anyway, is a massive recipe for success. I don't think that's great. I don't think that's brilliant. When you've got, well, budgets the size that they have, you know, you've paid Robert Downey Jr. $100 million for both movies. You've paid the Russo brothers $80 million for both movies. That's $180 million already budget-wise. So that's already $360 million to break-even point. Just on those three people, it starts to become an issue. So when you look at the net numbers or the gross numbers, This is why I think it's worthwhile taking a look at. And they did say this, right? Marvel didn't break down the numbers. Their official YouTube channel gives fans a peek into which Avengers Doomsday teaser is drawing the most attention and which one is lagging behind. And this is the thing. It is diminishing returns, as it always seems to be. So, as of Friday, Steve Rogers teaser, 18 million views, which I did a video on at the time. I was like, that's a good amount of views. I was really surprised. I'm not going to argue with that. There's a good amount of views, right? It is a good amount of views. And you look at the Thor teaser, 17 million views. And then it just goes down. X-Men teaser, 15. Wakanda teaser, 8.6. So it starts to go down and down and down and down and down. So then I still think to myself, well, is it going to be successful? I don't think it will be. I genuinely, actually, you know, we can watch this here, look. And we can just take a look and see. You know, pause that there. So it's got 9.9 million views now in 6 days. That's still a great amount of views. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's a great amount of views. Of course it is. But it is that diminishing returns. And that's not great. That's not great. But you can see where the interest lies. Because they release clips about everything else. Right? You know, you got Carol, Kamala Khan, Monica, swapping places, the Marvels, all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot here that they keep releasing. 15 million views still for the X-Men one. Not brilliant. It's not great. So people are interested. The views are high for sure. But I don't think it's enough to save them. You know? And I did wonder to myself, is it worthwhile comparing to Endgame? You know? I mean, Marvel Studios Avengers Endgame to the end. 39 million views there. The official trailer, 165 million views. Now, these are important comparisons when you're looking at Doomsday. Because Doomsday they're spending a hell of a lot of money on Doomsday. And obviously their benchmark is the last Avengers movie, right? That's obviously the benchmark. That's what they want to hit, plus then some. That's a fair observation, I think. I think it's a fair observation to make. And 165 million views. Well, that's massive. That's brilliant. I mean, there you look at that and you go, well, I can see why. You know, Avengers Endgame made, you know, billions of dollars. That makes sense. So now comparing it to Captain Rogers coming back and it being 18 million views, you can see that there's a huge disparity here. Now, play devil's advocate here, being fair, it's not the official Doomsday trailer, right? It's not. But these are the metrics that they have to beat. These are the metrics that they have to beat. Even the Marvel Studios Avengers Endgame to the end, 39 million. So when we get the official Doomsday trailer, which I presume will actually be soonish, couple of months, it's got to beat 165. It's got to do at least 100 million views. I think that's fair. Right, 50 million. Maybe 60 million. I don't know. But 165 million. That's the benchmark. I don't think anything below... Anything around 30 million, I think you could look at it and go, well, that's a bit of an issue. Because you know what also got about 30 million views on its trailer? The Batman. I think it was total about just over 25 million. So round it up, 30. Obviously, not strictly speaking completely accurate. But you get my drift, right? And that movie didn't break 1 billion. So these are always important metrics to look at. And this is why I actually think that the Marvel's still not out of the woodwork. I think there's still cause for concern here. With this film, you know, Marvel cause for concern. I don't actually really care. It's just interesting to take a look at. So there you go. I don't have much else to say. Long, rambly, chit-chatty video all about Avengers Doomsday and potential for success. What do you think, though? Let me know down below. And again, remember, these metrics are the ones to watch, right? This is their bar. Endgame is their bar to work with. Anyway, leave your thoughts down below. Bye-bye now.